Welcome everyone to the Word Session for July 22nd, 2025. I'm really sorry about last week. Thank you for your well wishes and patience. I've been dealing with my dad being in hospital, so we have a lot of stuff to do with the family to help out and get him what he needs. So thank you for your patience. What I'm going to do this week is there are different ways to look at it. One, we could look at it as the tower in the tarot, the falling tower, where we completely break down and destroy all of the things that keep us limited. Primarily, it's going to be belief systems, but I want to bring it to, sure, it's my beliefs, but I want to use if you can, I'm trying to think of a way that we could each and individually bring fire to the surface. So, for women like me who have or menopausal, it's easy to bring fire to the surface. I can think of something very mildly frustrating, and my body can bring fire. So those of you with menopause, you'll be able to do this easily. Now, if someone has something that they're really angry about right now, you could bring that to the surface. What we want is to bring that frustration and anger to such an extreme within us that it makes us a little cuckoo. So you don't necessarily have to go cuckoo, but we need a container where we are seeing ourselves in that insanity. And when we see ourselves in that rage, that burning, what happens is transformation. So it's just like the phoenix rising, it's just like burning karma. There's all kinds of imagery that we could bring to the forefront. In Jungian psychology, it's called calcinatio, where you're burning. There's a calcination process where you burn calcium down to it's nothing, and it transforms it into a dust. So you could just, there are two ways I'm going to do this. One is you may have something that super frustrates you, that gets you really angry that you might be thinking about. That's great. Just do that. And don't forget, whatever it is, it needs to burn. It needs that heat. So if you've got sadness or grief or anxiety, we need the frustration to burn the grief. Just like if we don't get angry, we're not going to, well, no, I shouldn't say it that way. If we don't have anger within the body mind, we can't make decisions. So people who lose their gallbladder often become decisionless. They just don't make decisions. So we need our anger to be healthy and strong. In this case, to burn it, we need the anger to build up. Don't do that. Don't worry about it. Because some of us have it coming right to the surface. I have some things, a list of things that have been triggered from early on in my life with all of this stuff I'm doing with my dad. It's great to get close to a parent that you haven't been that close to because it helps you burn out your stuff. So I get to look at myself, and it's actually helping me see how I deal with my relationship. It's helping me see how I deal with not so much friends. They have to be really, really, really dear, close friends. But with family members, and I'd say one friend that's like my sister, I get to see how I act, because most people I'm going to be calm, cool, and collected. Whereas people who are super close to me, I'll let go, and I'll act in irrational ways and end up apologizing. And as you know, when you apologize for your behavior, or you have behavior that is not good, then you will be apologizing. And that's not so nice for you, because that's something that's going to gnaw at you. Right. So sure, we apologize for our behavior, but it's not so nice when we're going to end up in that position. What we really want is to burn out that childish childhood stuff that keeps moving through us. So it's a big session for today. There's going to be an element of how much you put into this, meaning how honest you are about your own behavior, your own actions. your own belief systems. Yes. How much you could bring the anger to the surface. So I get really angry with myself when I don't behave properly. So it includes, even if you say you have an excuse for it, like I can have excuses. I am overtired, over the top, I'm overstressed, I'm anxious. Okay, but I'm still responsible for my actions. So I know why it's happening, but I would like, well, I know partly why it's happening, but there's another piece that is, um, let's say, the habit of being able to uh, speak or release or let go when you don't need to let go in that way. You need to burn it out of the system. Another one is one other. Yeah, so for those of you who can't do this, or a lot of us who are familiar with these methodologies and being able to, really pull on that energy, those of you who aren't, we're just going to allow your brain to search for it. So in the two methodologies, because it's nice to understand what's behind it, number one, so you don't have to do it if you don't want to, and ways in which you can understand. Let's say I'm copying this Jungian podcast I listened to, and one of the individuals brought up being in a car and having road rage, and you're trapped in a container, right? Like dragons get trapped in a glass container, right? So that is, we are the dragon in this container. Looking out the window, screaming, and then slowly you start to kind of go, wait a minute, what am I doing? I'm yelling my head off at another person, and this is ridiculous. And after a while, everything transforms. Now, it's terrible when someone else is in the car and you start raging like that and the other person gets scared and they're, pinned up against a window or something. Well, that's not so nice. And then it's also not so nice um, when you're a woman, all of the stuff that needs transformation starts coming to the surface, and there's a loved one there, and they're experiencing that part of you. There's another type of person who holds it all inside, and those people tend to get high blood pressure. Not all of them, but many of them. They tend to have heart issues, right? So I'm not saying it's necessarily much better to explode. It's probably this much better to explode, not too much. Explosive isn't good either. It's going to cause other problems. So we want to get the brain to look for those bits and pieces that you're ready to move. But if you could be looking for them, or you have one that's at the surface right now, you're going to um, be able to better transform this. So let's take a few moments to really focus in on something. Just look for your trigger. Just look for your trigger. So I'm looking for my trigger and I see it. I might even act, oh, you might even see me acting it out so you could act it out. Now, feel the energy involved in that trigger. It can be, one of my triggers is someone rolling their eyes. One of my triggers is dismissiveness. It could be disrespect for you. It could be being yelled at. It could be um, a lack of compassion. It could be narcissism, whatever it is. So just really think about what it is. And if you get much closer to um, your parent, so they might be far away in your life, they might not even be alive. It might be really far. The last time you were upset or hurt by them might be very, very far away. But just try and bring it to that moment that maybe even something that was not too bad that they did. You can look and go, well, that was appropriate that they did that. It could be. Many times we just misinterpret what our parents do. uh, you still want to go there and feel what triggered you so we can start to basically, I'd like to use the word erase. Now, nothing ever gets erased. The record of life is still there. but we can erase the charge. Yeah, we can know the wound because you see it, it's pretty much done. So you see the wound, you see the trigger, you see what it's causing in you. So we can let it go. So I'm trying to think of an example. Um, let's say someone's disrespectful. It goes down to a moment where you were disrespected as a child and you embodied the idea that, yep, people are going to disrespect me. That's going to happen for the rest of my life. It's so painful. You put it away and then you walk around in your life going, everyone should respect me. And you know very well somebody saying, respect me, respect me, respect me. You know they have an insecurity. Somebody who says, I'm smart, I'm smart, I'm smart. You know they have an insecurity. They're the opposite side of that identity is going to be the one that is their wound. And it's not so easy to see. When I was younger, I used to do, if I see something about someone or about myself, I know the opposite is what's really going on inside me. But it needs to be brought to the surface. And the way we're going to do it is through the brain looking for it and shifting it. But of course, you have to become aware of it. It's not going to happen with you being unconscious. And the second part is, unless you've already transmuted it and it's just stuck somewhere and we need to move it out. It's if you're not aware of it, you haven't been aware of it, it's not going to do it. And another one will be to raise your anger if you can. So raise your anger. I think it would be a good idea I am in a container right now, this room, and there's no one else here. So I'm sealed in. And if you need to close any doors, um, make sure that no one else can be in your room or your area. You know what? I'll do that too. I think I'll go close my door. One moment. Yeah, I think that even feels better just closing the door because you just feel like the container's here and the anger won't escape and go into other rooms. All right, so take a deep breath. Anger is located in your liver and your gallbladder, so you might feel it coming up from there. It also, you might feel it running through your body, you might get hot. So just close your eyes now and think about what really, really triggers you. Just focus on one. Don't worry which one it is. Whatever comes to the surface first, that's when your body wants to deal with it. Your body mind wants to deal with it. So just go with that one. Yeah, you can do another one another time. Okay, now that you've got it, you can act out the rage. Clench your fists. Even if you have to make noise, whatever you need to do to just feel that rage. I'm building it up in this container in me, and I'm seeing how crazy it looks. Mm. All right, you could pause the video if you need to take longer. The next part will be going into the New Zealand haka. Why are we going to do the haka? The haka is going to move all of this out of the way. So you don't know the hula haka, but you want to use that energy. So you eyes big and be pushing the energy. Okay, so eyes go big. You see the whites at the top of your eyes, tongue really strong out. And you can hit your legs. Just get that energy moving. Make it loud. I'm not screaming too loud because I want to be that loud here. All right. It's strong. You'll already be feeling that energy moving. Okay. Good. I see someone screaming really nicely. Good. All right. So now I'm going to just tap all that in. So we've given the instructions to our nervous system. There's something that triggers us. So you can always go back to this session and do it again for something new. Something that triggers us, the anger that comes up. We make the anger move. Then it helps move out all of the bits and pieces that pertain to it. So you might have lots of it's there. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to um, make it too big, uh, or you can really make it detailed. Okay. If you can, sometimes when I'm doing this, I can't make it as detailed as I would like. So I'll stay with the subject and I'll work it through. Other times it's so detailed that I know I'm going absolutely nuts. What is a little bit difficult is we're driving it right now and we're not in a room where you could have somebody else acting it out with you and talking about the problem. So it's not going to be as easy. The brain is going to look for it. And when you have an opportunity to work with someone who can help you move it even more or work other aspects a little bit more. All right. So I'm going to do that afterwards to move the energy. It's a good idea to drink a lot of water and to also, if you need to write and then burn it, being very careful not to set your house on fire, yourself on fire, or any forest on fire. Be very, very careful with fire. And yeah, and that should really help you out. You can be feeling it already. I'm feeling like there's a lot going on that the spine wants to move as well. So have a great week and enjoy that transformation. Okay, take care. Bye, everyone.